node where we're on top of each other for the entire race and we're running it tight. And here we are off into the race. The first item in our house, the red boomerang.
That actually could be very nice depending on when we find a weapon, they can check stun prizes. If that stun prize is like a 20 rupees or something like that, that can be very helpful.
Absolutely, that's always something you think about, is that looks like we're trying to set up our statue pole here. On Frostbite's side, meanwhile, Acktheboker did decide to go straight to the sanctuary afterward, while Frostbite's gonna go and see what's on Stumpy. Right here, and our friend Stumpy has 50 bucks for us today. On the bumper ledge today, we have 20 bucks.
Nice 20 drop. Ooh, tree pole is 20 as well. That's nice to see.
And nice, easily accessible money. Unfortunately, the stun prize appears to be five arrows, so not quite as useful, but with the money that Frostbite's given, they're going to go ahead and do a little bit of farming with the arrow game. A fairly standard opening for Inverted. This will help you get a little bit of the money, as there is not as much early money available in Inverted as there is in Standard or Open, because you spend more of the time in the Dark World. Meanwhile, Ack is going to visit the potion shop, or the shop by Link's house in the Dark World, which has a blue potion just for Inverted to help with some logic issues. And here we have a map check here. Turtle Rock, Pod, Pendants, and then I saw a 5 on Ice Palace.
That's what I saw as well.
All the rest being crystals. There's a pendant Turtle Rock, so the Ice Rod maybe not required? We have a long way to go before we can know that for sure. Looks like Ack is heading into the cave formerly known as Hype, while Frostbite is doing between 1 and 30 digs in the dig game with Alex Baldwin.
Hype cave so far, just piece of heart. There's our first sword, though.
More bombs, 300 rupees, and a lift upgrade. We're getting strong, and we've got some offense now. You know, that is a lot of digs for a heart container.
It is a lot of digs, but I don't think you're going to complain about that in Inverted.
Absolutely not. It looks like Frostbite is going to go ahead and check out the Village of Outcasts now, while Acktheboker is heading over to Stumpy and likely to pick up the heart container from the race game. I do enjoy the Plague Knight sprite being rocked by Frostbite there, and is that some kind of link on Ack's side?
I think it's just the boy.
Oh.
Or boy. I forget the actual sprite, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
He's got himself a fancy hat, that's for sure.
It's the backwards baseball cap.
Yes, it is the boy from Satella from the BS Zelda games, and that doesn't stand for what you think that means. It has something to do with the Super Nintendo Satellaview peripheral that was only released in Japan. So that was kind of an interesting one. I suggest Googling that once in a while. And there's an 8-pack of bombs picked up by Frostbite. So no more having a death reset in this room.
Oh, typically you do that like 2 or 3, usually like 2 times to get 6 bombs, but yeah, not this time.
Alright, Frostbite trying to make their way into the pot prison and pick up the map inside. That, so far, that red boomerang, for what it's been memed for, is becoming pretty helpful right now to help keep enemies away, and that's the magic powder. So far, all that's going to do for us is change some anti-fairies into fairies. We're a long way from having access to the magic bat.
Yep, very long way away so far. But first, Frostbite's gonna give some Hype Cave check, which we already know, but Ack's gonna give us some new information in the Village of Outcasts.
Take a walk through the sea house and find in the back we've got 3 bombs. So right there, that's enough money for Zora whenever he meets the Light Roll on Frostbite's side with that pickup. I think we're a ways off from reaching that threshold. Here we are into the brewery on Ack's side to find the magic mirror. That is a helpful tool and inverted indeed.
Yeah, you are not going to complain about that. Gives you access to a lot of stuff when we get to the light world.
It all just helps with movement a little bit. Meanwhile, Ack finds the chess game to be a whole lot of nothing, and with our sword, we have full access to Thieves Town, so here we go.
Except that lovely big chest.
I'm just kind of hoping that the small key doesn't turn up. Otherwise, that's another one of the extra inverted fetch quests.
Yeah, on the bright side though, it's not something that will initially decide the race, because both runners are going to leave that behind, if that's the case.
It is, unless, of course, the hammer decides to turn up in here. There's an early big key.
Well, we do know something major is going to turn up here, because we need to find progression somewhere inside of Thieves Town.
Well, there's still a chance a lamp pops up and we're heading up to the mountain. There are still a few locations left, and we will see what the seed decides to point us towards, and... Oh, I think I've summoned a lamp.
Yeah, that looks like a lamp to me.
Now, if we find a cape or another sword, we may be staring down an agaseed, which is fairly common for inverted. It also opens up the opportunity for potential Aghanim skips via the Kern jump. But we'll see what happens. There's still a lot of race to be seen and a lot more of Thieves Town yet to be dove. For a view of why we're here, this is a tiebreaker match to decide who will take the first seed and the first round bye in the Lake Hylia division. The loser of this race would have to face the Titansmiths in the first round of the playoffs. It looks like Frostbite's decided that that's enough of Thieves Town for now. Interesting decision on their part.
Yeah, I mean, definitely gonna have to come back because it's a crystal, but potentially, if you're thinking I'm not completely comfortable with fighting blind with this kind of equipment, or I'm just gonna make the gamble and I got my lamp, I've got Super Bunny Cave, I've got Aga, let's just go and do that at this point.
Well, we'll see if that ends up being the play here. And that's a Master Sword. That would have been a bit helpful for what Frostbite's about to attempt.
It'll help them get through the tower a little bit quicker, but it doesn't unlock anything.
Every little bit of offense is helpful regardless. But continuing on through Thieves Town, we'll see if there's any other progression yet to be seen here. As we get the fun journey of taking the old man completely up the mountain into the light world, and then jumping back down with him. Thankfully, he's got good knees to stick the landing. Right, let's see the chest with the maiden, and that's the small key, so we've got a fetch quest on our hands, folks. Because that big chest is now in logic once we find the hammer.
I think we're still looking for one dungeon item, I want to say, though.
And I do enjoy the bunny sprite for the Plague Knight. Triple Pond. Jump on down the mountain, the old man clips through the wall. And just 20 bucks for all that. Now I think the Troople's gonna try to flop its way up and see what's on Spectacle Rock. While Acktheboker's gonna go ahead and knock down and keep this blind fight pretty on script with the sword beams from the Master Sword. Makes it a little bit easier, but he's lost a little bit of the handle on the fight. Gonna do some frame movement to try to keep themselves alive here. and get
Ooh,
sniped by a laser.
Blind was not having it.
Alright, so Frostbite inside Spectacle Rock, and they'll get a heart container for their troubles. I think Acktheboker decided that that's enough of that for now. And we find out that the Cane of Burna is in the Palace of Darkness on Frostbite's side. Sometimes even a blind thief snipes a small child.
I guess it does make sense for Act to kind of skip out on Blind after killing him, because at this point, you're not going to be able to do a scripted fight. So it is going to be a rough fight. And he has yet to even go to Skullwoods. So you got items within Skullwoods, plus he can go to the mountain like Frostbite already had. And I think there's only one item left in Thieves Town, so Blind may not even have it.
I do agree that seems to be a good play, as Frostbite is hoping to find a fairy here, not to be seen, so they're going to have to brave those Lionels without any sort of protection. I do not
Thankfully,
believe
there's
magic
a
boomerang does anything to these guys.
oh, there's a nice easy way to get through them, just like that. You kind of go all the way to the end of the bridge, force them to hit you with a fireball, and then they will back off. You just kind of have to avoid them.
The fireball does one heart. The hug does quite a bit more.
Yeah, and Green Mail Fireball does 2. A hug will kill you with 4 hearts. It does 4 hearts of damage on Green Mail.
Rip. Right, with that, Skullwoods comes up with nothing, so Acktheboker's also going to head up to the mountain as we get a heart container and a heart piece from Super Bunny Cave. It looks like it's Aga or Blind.
Yep, or you do the bomb jump.
Frostbite seems to be mulling their options now. And they may be going for it.
He sure is.
This is a very recently discovered trick that looks like Frostbite will be attempting here to get yourself into the dark world, get yourself across the dark world without going into Aghanim. Goes ahead and gets that Hinox out of the way. Not quite timed right. There it is.
That one sure was, though.
And so with that, Frostbite has skipped Aghanim as the key to access to the eastern side of the Dark World. We'll see if this pays off. We now have access to the Catfish, the Pyramid Ledge, and the Palace of Darkness, where we know the Cane of Burna is somewhere. It's a combination of a fake flipper plus a bomb jump. I'm a fan. Right, so let's see what this long walk up to a catfish will yield for us today. And the catfish coughs up just a piece of heart, but it's inverted. You're going to take any little bit of health you can get.
Frostbite is currently out of logic, yes.
However, if he just does Aghanim, that puts this play back in logic. Because that would spit... Actually, not really. I suppose he could mirror from the top of the castle. This is logically acceptable, but he has not done the parts to pull it fully into logic.
Yes.
Though he's hoping that this is the play, perhaps the Moon Pearl or some other progression item will pop up here on the Pyramid Ledge or within the Palace of Darkness. Has to be careful with this enemy up here, because that's going to kill him. And on top of the Pyramid Ledge, we've got ourselves a small shield. And he's going to pick it up regardless. There's a little bit of safety that you will take at this point.
Ooh, almost took a hug there.
So it looks like Frostbite is going to go ahead over to the Palace of Darkness. I know the King of Burna is inside, but we'll see what else may be hiding within. Meanwhile, Ack back into there. I think Ack is... he's going to go check out Super Money Cave here.
Yep, he has yet to check out Super Money Case, so that'll be his next play.
Alright, so we're just going to go pick up the Extortionist, Kiki the Monkey, and open up the door to Pod. We're going to pull out that magic boomerang, because we don't want to get hit, because we're going to die. And also, it'll make Kiki run off, but you'll be dead anyway.
Yep, then you gotta do that bomb jump again. And Ack also does a save and quit. Let's see. Nope. Looks like he is going to just immediately go to Aga.
So all signs in the seed pointing to an Aghanim play being the one to make. Unless, I mean, I can't see anything being on blind that would prevent this other than the flippers. Alright, and Frostbite has picked up the key, and so they're heading over to further into the Palace of Darkness. We're not bow locked yet. And further into Pod, find the Cane of Burna somewhere, but what else will we find inside? Perhaps it'll make this play Frostbite's making worth their time. Meanwhile, Ack is going ahead and going to carve their way through Aga's tower. And there's the Cane of Burna. That puts Spike Cave into logic.
I think we still need a bottle though, plus a hammer.
A hammer, yeah. So that's part of the Spike Cave logic. More importantly, it's also a little bit extra defense, which he may need to reach into if these Stalfos heads don't go away.
Yeah, those Selphos heads were not having it.
I think at this point he's just going to take the Death Warp for the health reset. Alright, so Ack's going to climb their way up Aga Tower, Frostbite continuing into the Palace of Darkness. Now, following Ack's play, there's no guarantee that the Palace of Darkness is where the next progression may be lying. Perhaps the seed is going to require some bunny shenanigans in order to get more of our items that we need here. Perhaps walking even all the way over to Mire.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the mirror, so we can access everything in the mire pretty much.
As we find out that there's a heart container in Super Bunny Cave. Thanks.
We'll go right over and pick that up. Oh wait, we already did.
We are unsure if there's anything at Lumberjack because we haven't seen it, and that's the Book of Endora. Now that's a good find by Frostbite, is because that is 100% required. That is the only way to get inside Desert Palace if that turns out to be one of our remaining crystals.
Yeah, which we've got a 66% chance that is required. So, yeah, even if we don't find any part of our actual light world access here, that's a fairly large find because this is a pendant dungeon. It could be a while before Act decides to make the play in here for something like the book.
So we will see if this ends up being the play that needs to be made. We're a ways off from finding out. Because Acktheboker is gonna head on over to facing off with Aghanim. How many blue balls do you think we've got here, Sir Link?
I'm going to say 4.
I'm gonna go with 5, because it seems to be the number I usually see. Meanwhile, Frostbite's setting up their hammer yump. Looks to be they've got it for the single ruby. And there's one. Now we get that guaranteed lightning phase, another reflectable coming. Alright. Alright, so the Palace of Darkness seems to be only coming up book right now.
I've got book and burn, and I believe there might be one more item left, but we don't have access to it right now.
Alright, so with that Frostbite, I think they're thinking the key that they're trying to avoid the Aga play. It looks like they're thinking they're gonna do more. Oh, they're gonna go ahead and go for round 2 with blind.
Yeah, well, she'll just be going back into the dungeon because he dipped out after the first 4 and getting that lamp.
I mean, well, Acktheboker has found their way into the light world, but can't do much here, so they're just gonna go ahead and grab their mirror and let's see how much they decide to do. They're at least gonna check the ledge for sure. It looks like just a ledge check.
Yep, sees the shield and is like, nope, I don't need that.
Well, it's time to do a little bit of a bunny adventure. So now's a good chance to think about what a bunny can do. In here, not a whole lot. However, looks like Ack is going to do a little bit of a sequence break here, because if you die as a bunny in a dungeon, when you respawn, hey, you're Link again. So it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a sequence break on Ack's side as well, as they're going into the escape sequence to try to find some items. Now this play is wholly out of logic, unlike Frostbite's, where it was logically accessible, but he had not finished the right pieces to make it work. So we'll see what, if anything, turns up in this out of sequence escape sequence. While Frostbite on the left side is going to carve their way through Thieves Town and potentially face blind to believe is find out the magic cape is in Turtle Rock.
And I don't see Frostbite actually taking a death to blind. Even if he ends up getting off script and gets in their danger, he's got the Cane of Burning now. So he could just pull that out for that last phase of blind, just to make it just extra safe if necessary.
It will lag super hard, but it will be, he'll be invincible for it. And a Cane of Burna is an interesting bit of battle equipment for blind. Meanwhile, Frostbite is going to go ahead and carve, picking up their Master Sword. They'll be set up even better for blindness. Now they have access to the sword beams. Go ahead and take care of this ball and chain guard on Axe side. Looks to be also setting up a death warp on the way, perhaps? Or just taking a little bit of extraneous damage.
I think it was just taking a bit of extra damage.
Now, having seen that there's nothing in that escape sequence, he chose to hard reset. So I don't see, he's not going to revisit those items at any point. Just trying to get back inside. Go ahead and take a hug, and he's going to reset. Looks like Ack may be setting up to snipe a key.
Yep, he is going to steal. He made sure there wasn't anything there. He's stealing the key, so he can go all the way to the back at this point. And he'll come on in Sanctuary then.
And an interesting little bit of metagaming the system. We'll see if it pays off, as remember, we're still sequence breaking.
Let's see. Frostbite's starting his fight on blind.
So far, keeping it on script. Takes a hit there and loses a little bit of the handle. And down goes blind. We'll see if there's something on here that stops this, and unfortunately that's the compass. We need the hammer to get the final item on Thieves Town. So with that, at 24 minutes, Frostbite's got their crystal, but now they've got no choice but to do Aghanim. Alright, and there's 3 bombs from the sewer chest. Now, for those asking in chat, the big key only opens up Zelda's cell. Right, with the key rat down, Acktheboker is into the back of the escape sequence. We'll see if there's anything of note in here. Three chests here we are. That's the small key, piece of heart, and 10 sticks. So this will put him out into Sanctuary, but not a whole lot else for all this time invested into the escape sequence, other than they were going to check this potentially anyway.
Yeah, and we know that there will be an item in the sanctuary as well.
Alright, here we are out of there, and that's just 3 bombs.
So yeah, escape. Yeah, Hyrule Castle coming up with nothing.
This will put him out with access to the Kakariko Village area. So if there's an item on the bottle vendor, that'll be in play for him as we get confirmation that it looks like we have a crystal on Desert Palace.
Yep, we had crystal number 2 on Desert Palace. We had our second 5-6 on Hera, and Eastern Palace is its vanilla green pen.
All right, so with that, the early pod play by Frostbite, while not putting them on the logic train, did give them access to the Book of Medora, which is the only way to get to that crystal in the Desert Palace. And now Ack is taking care of the bottle vendor. And did they just kill an enemy?
Yeah, I guess they're super bunnied.
Interesting. I've never seen He's in a Super Bunny state still.
Oh,
And there's a boot find. Walden Super Bunny. Oh, that's right. Because if you receive an item for talking to the NPC, it puts you in a Super Bunny state. But now it's reset, so he has to try to mirror while going through a transition. Try to get to the items in the thieves' hut.
Yep, and that is a Super Bunny armed.
As you can see by the many, many block deletions. 3 bombs, heart container.
This is actually our Sank heart.
Meanwhile, Frostbite is back to their geometry test. So it's asking yet, yes, we are indeed in inverted mode. The 2 racers were given the option to pick their mode for this tiebreaker race, and they decided on inverted. So it looks like Ack is going to go ahead and have their redemption with Blind the Thief now.
Well, I could also be thinking he did leave an item behind. So it could be it's been on blind this whole time. We know at this point now it's a compass, so we need the hammer.
So it won't pay off for them, but it is a crystal that they will have to complete at some point, so just knock it out either way.
Yeah,
so
which go ahead.
I was going to say, so with this, Frostbite will be out into the light world. What's left for logical plays for them?
Mire area is one of the logical places with a mirror. I think that might actually be where our Pearl's sitting, is in the Mire shed right now.
Seems to be the most likely of scenarios. There's unless, of course, an item like the flippers pops up in there. And then maybe perhaps a flippers bombos medallion.
Yeah, flippers, our fire rod for flippers bombos would give us access to Ice Palace, but we'll need a little bit more than flippers.
And perhaps it looks to be that the Smith chain is the Smiths are also in logic at the moment, as well as the Bombos tablet. And it looks like Frostbite is also going to set up this Super Bunny state in, or this the glitched Link state in the Hyrule Castle. I'm just gonna go ahead and check Sick Kid real quick with this bottle we have for $5. Ack's gonna continue south and get the reminder that, oh wait, this is a post-Aga light world. It's a little bit more dangerous than usual. And there's 20 rupees sitting on the library ledge. And they're gonna go ahead and pick up Jeremiah right now. And so let's see what kind of dwarven craftsman we have today.
Maybe we have a jeweler.
Wouldn't that be something? We will see. Alright, Jeremiah's home, walking up, and we'll see what they've made for us today. And today we have a dwarven mint. $20. And with that, we have a purple chest, so we have a long walk with a purple chest through the light world, don't we?
A very long walk, yes. Okay, so Frostbite is not going to be stealing the key, it looks like.
So they won't be able to get all the way to the back of Escape, because the other key is sealed in the back of Escape.
Yep, they might be hoping it's there in Darkcross, but we know it's not. Oh, there's a fire
rod
rod.
in Cave 45 that we need the Moon Pearl for. Good information, though. It looks like Ack is trying to use that green guard to set. He used the green guard to set up a Super Bunny state to pick up that fire rod on a sequence. Good use of mechanics by Acktheboker here. That is something I have not seen before. Really good knowledge of Super Bunny mechanics is really paying, and so far paying off for Ack.
Yeah, it really is. We'll see. See what Frostbite looks like. He's not going to be going through with Super Bunnies just yet. Where is he going to go?
He's cornering himself first. Flop, little Trouble, flop. Looks like they're trying to make it to the village area. Red guard, please.
We just want to give this back to its rightful owner.
The green enemies in the other side of the Dark World aren't much more friendlier. And there's a shovel. Can't do much with that shovel, so it looks like we're going to head over to the desert area if we can make it. Frostbite also set up that Super Bunny via the mirror, so they're in to grab their fire rod as well.
Yep, and Ack is about to check Desert Leads, which we just have 10 arrows.
We're going to go ahead and head on up, and they'll be in the mire shed shortly.
Yep, which I believe at this point we know something has to be here, and that's a bombos from Mire.
Alright, walking on through. There's our Moon Pearl we've pretty much had to find here, and there's $20. That's the full Light World open to Acktheboker. I believe Ack is at least going to go take care of the checkerboard cave right away.
Yep.
Being that it is inverted, anything that requires the mirror is just kind of available to you once you have Light World access. And of course, for this one, once you have the Power Glove, which he has. Just a heart container, so no dice.
Now, something to think about, Ack can't do this because he has no book, but Frostbite, if he gets his boots using Super Bunny while he's here in Kakariko Village, when he does go into this area, he will actually be able to clear Desert Palace.
should have done it rather efficiently with the fire rod, with that fire rod that he super bunnied for. It looks like indeed Frostbite is gonna go pick up their boots here. So once
There's
they
boots.
get to the mire shed, they're going fast. And what was on Agina's side?
I did not see Agina side. I don't think it was anything important, though. I am not seeing anything different on our tracker. Just some money.
Cash money. Thank you, Defensive.
Drosy Literacy was inside of Pod, which Frostbite used the Karen Bomb Jump to actually go do. Ack went right to Aga, since it was their Aga required seed.
So he attempted to skip Aga, was not to be on Frostbite's side, but it did pay off in the book, and being that we have a pendant in the Palace of Darkness, it may take Ack a while to get there. This
is a Kill Ganon. And Dirty One Ack did see that hint, but it was referring to the Cane of Burna, so Cane of Burna is not required by any means to complete a game.
It is part of the access to Spike Cave, as well as rooms that require invulnerability, like the laser bridge.
Yes, which, considering, we might have access to that soon, but we'll see.
But who likes running around Turtle Rock and Inverted? I know I sure don't.
Turtle Rock and Inverted isn't so bad once you get the mirror.
It's just, I guess it's a little more confusing, a little too confusing for me to wrap my head around. Meanwhile, Acktheboker is trying to bomb the way there through these mini Moldorms because they're down to half a heart. That post-Aga Light World is not to be trifled with. And we've got ourselves, starting with a piece of heart, the swag net, a bottle with a B, 3 bombs, and 3 bombs.
Here, use all your bombs to get here, I'll give you them all back.
And a B, because bees?
B strats are best strats.
Interesting that Frostbite's Trouble has turned green for some reason. Interesting. Alright, we'll hold our sword to the sky and check out the Bombos tablet just to get a $5. I'm really puzzled as to why Frostbite's body sprite changed color.
I'm not sure, as I saw when we were in the Dark World, as you see there, his sprite also has changed color here. Maybe it was the Super Bunny?
Perhaps that sprite just doesn't like Super Bunny state. But with that, Frostbite's got their Moon Pearl. Meanwhile, on the right side of our screen, Acktheboker on half a heart is on the hunt with a fake flipper. As if the fake flipper safety wasn't going to kill him if he got hit, pretty much anything else would have also. Take a look. It's in a book. That's Desert Palace, which Frostbite can fully clear. And a whole lot of nothing from the hobo. So we'll see if anything turns up in this Desert Palace aside from the crystal that we know we need. There's a small key, so still more to be found. Alright, so Acktheboker, going ahead and continue his sequence break shenanigans and see what is in the Waterfall Fairy.
First item of Desert Palace just came out. We've got the 10 bombs.
And the big key we had to find. Nothing there, and we'll see what is the free refill for Acktheboker. And today we've got Bees! They're
In case the free
eyes.
one you got wasn't enough, have another free one.
It's a secret to everybody. There are bees in a bottle. Not the bees. Nice little bit of knowledge using that, knowing that there's a heart pickup there. And there's the compass, so the final item is on Landmolus. It looks like Axe trying to reset a fake flipper state here. I'm just trying to get back into the light world here.
Maybe we're setting up a water walking.
Nope. That there's 20 bucks on the Zora ledge, so we're gonna go ahead and make this long walk up to the scam artist himself. Has to be careful though. He's down to a single heart. Perhaps being a little careless. But they're safe now, and now they've... Ooh, I spoke too soon. They almost got sniped on the way up. And all that's vanilla flippers! Well.
King Zora didn't get the memo that this is supposed to be randomized.
Well, Frostbite does have the money. It will be interesting to see how long it takes them to get there, but the flippers on those cells didn't really unlock anything.
Oh, yes, they did.
Oh, except for, an ice palace.
Yeah, that.
And there's the ice rod on the uncle. Don't know if we need that yet, but...
And a mushroom.
Alright, so Uncle's got some ice and some drugs.
Alright, so nothing of major importance in Desert Palace that Frostbite will have over Ack, other than that crystal.
But they will need that crystal, so how long it takes Ack to make it to Pod could come in to bite them. We will see. Ack is just going to go ahead and instantly turn in that mushroom, so perhaps they don't have to worry about fake powder. We have real powder. But did you know that you can fake real powder?
It's called swag strats.
Indeed. Alright, so turn in the mushroom and we'll see what the going price for magic mushrooms are today. And it's just a little bit of love. And more importantly, a blue potion for Ack.
And he'll use that nice refill as he exits.
Convenience. Healing. Industry. Acktheboker is going to go ahead and check out the boots locked locations. Now there you see on your screen there, folks, that is the King's Tomb. That is the only location that is 100% Titan's Mitts locked in Inverted. So we may never see those second gloves.
Yep, it's a good chance we probably won't see the second gloves.
We'll see what's in the bunk rocks. And just the other boomerang, so now we're 2 rangs. Well, Frostbite can use their sword beams to take care of these mini Moldorms.
Actually, I don't remember. Chat might have to help us out. Did we find both items in Skull Woods?
That is a good question. More importantly, what's on Lumberjack Ledge, since we have access to it? Let's just dive in.
Yeah, what do we got?
Money! Which we're done with for the seed, unless we want more potions. Meanwhile, Frostbite is going to make that long walk to a cold cave.
Well, Ack's not done with money. He still has to open up Pod.
As far as he knows, he's done with money. But he was already on 400 rupees before he picked it up, as that thief gives Ack a little bit of trouble. And then just some money in a cold cave, 20 bucks in the Thieves' Grotto.
Frostbite setting up by water walking, I believe, or trying to.
And does so. Meanwhile, we're in a neighborhood of something interesting. That's the back of Skull Woods. We'd also be in the neighborhood of the pedestal, but Ack can't read it. But Ack can mirror bonk.
Yeah, we'll see if Frostbite decides to read this when he gets into the area.
Alright, just 10 sticks from the hobo. Looks like Ack's running back to grab that key. And to check the vanilla big key location. And I don't know how I missed this, but Ack picked up the bow. I think it
That must have been Mushroom Spot.
Yeah, had to have been growing in Mushroom Spot. So that's an item that may point Ack toward the Palace of Darkness. We will see. It may be a while yet, though. We need to find a hammer to make the rest of it completable.
I was gonna say, it's like the only spot I missed Ack pickup was Mushroom Spot, so yeah.
By process of elimination. But then also that bow throws them towards a couple of pendant dungeons. Well, Frostbite's gonna go ahead and get their free B. Alright, so Ack is into the back. Hang on, for their date with Mothtail. Meanwhile, Frostbite's gonna go pick up their vanilla flippers. Just be careful for that fireball. Alright, so that's vanilla flippers for Frostbite. Meanwhile, Ack is just about done with the Mothula fight here. Just a couple more hits, I think.
Down he goes.
That's the end of the moth. More importantly, there's still an item in here. Meanwhile, Frostbite gonna go ahead and visit their uncle and pick up their ice rod and mushroom.
Yeah, so quick catch up for everybody that's kind of joining us. Main thing, we had an Egga seed. We had a very early mirror, which led to our Moon Pearl being in the Myers shed. Big difference right now between the two runners is the book, which is required, is sitting in Pendant Pod, which Frostbite did the Kieran Bomb jump to check that to maybe be able to skip Egga. Wasn't able to skip Egga, but found that book.
Now, with that, that's an edge that Frostbite could have for quite some time. I'm not sure when Ack's going to find their way over to the Pendant Pod. In fact, Ack does have the bow that was found in the mushroom spot, but with both Bowlock dungeons being locked away by pendants, it may take them a while to make it up there. And with pendant, though, this does feel kind of meh when you got the prospect of a pendant turtle rock.
And right now we're missing Kane and Samaria, so Turtle Rock, I believe at the moment we can't get into any part of Turtle Rock at the moment.
Can we get into Laser Bridge?
No, so we don't have a way to East Death Mountain yet on Lightside.
Oh yes, that's what we're missing. We're a hookshot away from a Trinex kill, potentially.
Oh, and Kane and Samaria.
Oh, yes. Or perhaps the Cane's on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, and Turtle Rock is not necessarily locked by the hookshot in this, technically you can walk up to the normal entrance of Turtle Rock and open it up. But we're kind of missing the medallion.
At this point, we're almost an hour in, and we've yet to see a. Oh, I forget where I was going with that. It looks like with this, Ack just picked up the big key off of Mothula. Oh, there we go. There's the mirror transition that'll get them into where they need to be. Okay, go check that big chest.
Yeah, the big key was under the bridge in Skullwoods, which leads to silver arrows.
Not 100% required, but is something you definitely want to see.
I mean, especially early in a game where you really haven't fought many bosses that are vulnerable to them, makes them so much easier.
Absolutely. So Frostbite's finishing off their escape sequence and will be rewarded with a whole lot of meh. So with that, where do you think our runners are looking to go to next?
Well, I think Ack might be thinking... I don't know where Ack is actually thinking at this moment. Maybe he's thinking Eastern? Yeah, looks like he's thinking Eastern. Frostbite, I think, is going to go through Kakariko because he did a little bit of Super Bunny, not to the method where Ack did pretty much everything Kakariko using Super Bunny.
I mean, we haven't seen the back of the well yet, and we haven't seen the back of Blind's hut.
Yep, that are two locations we will probably see on Frostbite sites shortly.
That's of course after Frostbite finds the bow growing in its natural habitat and picks up the $100 for Lumberjack.
Now, I think the best thing to happen to Ack right now would be there is absolutely nothing inside of Eastern Palace, because that will force him probably to check Pod. But if he finds something like a hook shot or a hammer inside of here, he may just decide not to go Pod.
I would tend to agree on that one, but we'll see what this turns out to be. A few checks to be made. The main thing to remember that the Pendant Palace, this is a Pendant Eastern Palace, and the Pendant Palace of Darkness has the book, which is our only way to get inside Desert Palace. As well as the Cane of Burna, which may be locking something we don't know yet. Tries to set up a triple, but realizes they haven't killed anything yet.
Oh, there's a hook shot in Eastern Palace, though.
Oof. But more importantly, if you're looking on the left side of your screen, Frostbite's in a certain area, in a certain neck of the woods, and has a certain book in their hands. It's time for a pedestal read. And today we've got, this will give you 10 shots with the bow, 10 sticks, rest in peace pedestal.
And now it's time for Frostbite to finish off Skullwoods.
We'll see if they decide to pick up their silvers. Most likely they will. So with
I would imagine so.
So with that hook shot in Eastern Palace, that just gave us access to the headache that is the eastern side of Death Mountain.
Yep,
Welcome
also gives us access to a lot of Turtle Rock. Hookshot Cave is open there. Yeah, there's a lot available now.
It also gives us access to the what is there one check in Swamp Palace?
I mean, we already no, actually. Now the one check in Swamp Palace we've already had.
Oh, that's right.
That one Gibdo's just kind of stuck there.
He is actually stuck there. Either. That's interesting. That Gibdo couldn't take damage. If they're getting wiggled like that, they don't take damage. I've never seen that before. I'm not sure what Ack just found here. Actually, Ack just found the hammer in the big chest of Pendant Eastern.
Yes, he did. Wow. I don't know if I could see him actually going in the pod at this. That is a lot he has access to.
He's right here. He has the mirror. I mean, oof.
I mean, it is, but the thing is, he did also get a hint that Cane of Burn is there, so he knows it's only 4 items he's looking for. Potentially 3 if one of them's on Helmasaur, but I guess he could grab that now that he has the hammer. But
so he can full clear it, and after seeing that one pendant dungeon coming up gangbusters, you wonder, if I'm in the area, do I make the dive? I guess we'll see after they go ahead and just take care of the Armos Knights here. And if you blink, you'll miss it, folks. We've got silver arrows, so this won't take, actually, arrows we'll make pretty quick work of this fight. And there's the compass. And there's the green pendant. The hammer was in the big chest of Eastern Palace, so that's hammer and hookshot locked away in Eastern.
And now the real question, does Ack go in a pod or does he skip?
Looks like he's at least going to turn in the green pendant. The real question is, after he gets the green pendant, does he mirror?
Oh, an ether.
Ether medallion? Potentially helpful? If we need the front door of Cane of Samaria.
Speaking of Samaria.
What is this Eastern Palace area?
Actually, thinking about it, we're Bombos away from no mode now.
That's nuts. But with this, Ack is moving away from Palace of Darkness. Looks like Ack's gonna make the Ice Palace play. Right, with Frostbite having completed Mothula and picked up the big key, we're probably gonna grab their silver arrows next. The question is, where does Frostbite go?
I mean, he'll definitely go to Kakariko Village. He'll clear that out. At that point, I could see him going the same over to Eastern because I don't really think there's much more for him.
Some cash is above the pose. Ack knows that, but thanks. Right, so Frostbite is going to pick up their Argentum stakes. Does manage to land that bonk. And they're back into the light world. Well, Ack is taking care of the pen gators here. There's the big key.
It's a nice place to find it if you're going to find it early.
I would tend to agree. Get those pen gators out the way. Now we'll finally get to see what was in the back here. We already know what these checks are. We'll see what if anything comes up in Ice Palace. We're really looking for the Bombos medallion to get into Misery Mire at this point. This Bumper Ledge is nothing. The ether is held by someone friendly. Lack already knows that. Just to give it, so just to give a little bit of a review. What can we find around the Light World Palace area? Well, let's see. Inside Eastern Palace is the hammer and the hookshot, and then Sahasrara has the ether medallion, which we don't know if is useful, or the Cane of Samaria, which we need. And meanwhile, Ack just kind of says, "Screw bomb jumps. I'm hovering."
Who needs bombs? I have boots.
Alright, continuing on deeper into Ice Palace. Frostbite clearing through more of the Kakariko village. And the real question is, are they gonna have the galaxy brain to head over to the plethora that is the Eastern Palace area, as we find out that there's some junk in the Pyramid Fairy, so no big red bomb shenanigans today.
Nope, none today. So the book is important in inverted because normally Desert Palace you have two ways to get in. You either have the book or you have, Flute Titans Mirror. In inverted, the only way into Desert Palace is via the book.
Because you can't get in, and you cannot get into any of the side entrances, therefore the front door is your only option. Right, and clearing on through more of this, and now we're gonna get our first check of that shovel we picked up. Strike the earth for 20 bucks. We're moving on. And so far, no bombos yet to be found on Axe side. That's potentially all we're looking for no mode, unless we really need to get into the front door of Turtle Rock, which we may have the key for already.
And Frostbite is heading towards Eastern.
And this, if he follows through the whole play, will come up gangbusters for them. And so far, the decision to do that current jump really seems to be paying off for Frostbite, because I don't think Ack is going to find their way to that book for quite some time.
Yeah, I think Ack at this point is probably going, once he's finished with Ice Palace, will probably head to Swamp, do a full clear of that, then maybe at that point we might be going to Pop. But you're going to clear your crystal dungeons first before diving a pendant dungeon when you've already left it.
But he also has full-on access to Turtle Rock as well. And there's a lot of items on that mountain.
Yeah, that is true.
I think that Pod may be his last location, depending if you're going to play pure percentages. The mountain is the place to be. And so far, a pretty clean cold stare fight by Ack here.
Yeah, Master Sword kept them in the corner for a good long while, and one puff left. No more puffs left. All of them are down.
That's the end of that. Small key, so that was Kane of Samaria blocked by Logic. Meanwhile, Frostbite has their hook shot, and they're moving on further into Eastern Palace, thankfully, because they'll open up that big chest to find the hammer. The only thing of note in Ice Palace was the French Vanilla Blue Mail, so now Ack's a little bit safer. Alright, so Ack going for a bit of a swim here. Looks like they're heading up toward Link's house.
I'm guessing this is Swamp Palace play.
Looks to be that way. So at this point, if you're a team of 4K Fourth and Forehead, you're really hoping he finds his way to Pendant Pods soon enough to pick up that book for Desert Palace, but it's going to be a while likely, as he's going to at least follow his crystals. And we do have access to the Tower of Hera as well, so there's just a mountain of things on Death Mountain. And what we're looking for, as far as we know, the only thing we're really looking for at the moment is the Bombos Medallion to open up Misery Mire and finish off be able to access our final crystal.
Frostbite picks up the lovely big key, which is going to lead us to our hammer.
To find out that some cash requires that hammer. Just a review of why we are here. This is a bonus tiebreaker race of the Link to the Past Randomizer League Lake Hylia Division. After yesterday, these two teams splitting their final week series, as well as a three-way tie for fourth place, caused the tiebreakers to be down to, well, the final remaining players, Acktheboker and Frostbite, are playing right now to see who will take that #1 seed in Lake Hylia Division. Now, the runners were given the choice to play any of the modes that were in previous week's Link to the Past Randomizer League, and they elected for Inverted. For those asking in chat, do we need a flute from Misery Mire? The answer to that is no, because we are in inverted mode and we can mirror from desert to the mire.
Yep. Proof of this is we've already been to the Mire Shed because that's where the Moon Pearl was.
Yep, we had to walk as a bunny through the desert to go into the Mire Shed with the mirror. Realistically, in Inverted, the flute does not do a whole lot for you. Though it can be your logical access to the mountain. Right,
Also can be logical access to Mire.
It's not often you see that where you've got your got Titan's mitts.
Yep. Not very often. There's Ether Medallion for Frostbite, and he's about to pick up his cane.
And to save and quit after that, now they're just a Bombos medallion away from potential go mode.
Yep, and I wonder, I'm curious as to where he's going to go. He's got these crystal dungeons, but he also has Death Mountain and just everything that's there.
I think the mountain is probably going to be their play because there's just so many things there. And if the Bombos medallion turns up, that means a go mode Swamp Palace for you. The only thing you'd like is you'd like the Bombos medallion to come in last, because then you, well, I suppose this is inverted, so you don't have to worry about the Tower of Hera being helpful. But
Melissa, I believe so. Another kind of bad place it could be is in Thieves Town.
because we do have access to that Thieves Town big chest, and that's holding an item for a long time. Making our way over to the eastern side of Death Mountain. Welcome to the nightmare that is routing Death Mountain in Inverted. Alright, first two items in Paradox Cave for Frostbite. We've got a piece of heart and a piece of heart. Alright, 5 more items we picked up here in Paradox. 20 bucks. Piece of heart. Arrow of Destiny. $50. And $50. Alright, bumping across. Unknown if we picked up anything on that left side swamp for Ack. Hopefully we'll get them sorted out momentarily.
Yep. I'm not sure specifically what's going on, because I looked at Acktheboker's stream. His stream looks like it's just fine. Wasn't for a second there.
Alright, so now Frostbite's going to go ahead and knock out the Tower of Hera, which we will have to do as well as the Ether Tablet. Another look, and if this is where the Bombos is, that just about seals it for Ack, I think. Just 20 bucks, though. That feels good, and thanks for chat for reminding me. If you've not given these runners a follow already, I implore you to do so. They're doing this extra tiebreaker race for your entertainment and to decide who will get that bye in the League of Hylia division, so please give them a follow. And there we have some Titan's mitts inside Tower of Hera. Now that'll help, that'll make routing for this a little less tedious. But on its own, it doesn't give a whole lot, and there's a nice, unique item in Eastern Palace hint, and oh boy, does Frostbite know that.
I actually missed that hint because I was trying to see if we could figure out what's going on with Axe Stream.
That was there's a unique item in Eastern Palace,
Oh yeah, there are multiple of them, game.
and all of them are very important. Now, the other thing of interest is we couldn't be up there without one of those unique items. Thanks, game. As we get through Frostbite's coffee break. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and pick up the big key, which we know is down here, so we can go ahead and knock out Moldorm. We've already found one of the unique items here in Hera. We'll see what the other one turns out to be. At this point, we're only on the hunt for the Bombos Medallion, which will open up Misery Mire for us.
Yep. So as far as what's going on, Axe's side is working on a stream. It is something going on. We are looking into it, and we're going to get it working for you as quickly as we can. So thanks everybody for your patience on that.
If you have eyes on Axe stream, have you seen the Bombos turn up there in Swamp?
Chat was saying not yet. And he just checked the final chest in Swamp, looks like, so that's a big no.
Alright, so we know Swamp Palace is not the key for the Bombos Medallion. Perhaps will it be here? Nope, that's the burrito. Open to the hint system. A heart container is with a Great Fairy. Already know that. Thanks. And there's second item being the Tempered Sword for Frostbite.
Not bombos, but you are not going to say no to a tempered sword.
Absolutely not. I do think at this point the worst case scenario for both runners is Thieves' Town Pig Chest. Because we already have all the fetch quest items, so we can't chain it through that way. But speaking of fetch quests, I mean, we now have access to the Magic Bat, which Frostbite has not done yet. The answer to Pedestal is, unfortunately, just some sticks. As much as we would have loved the hype, it's not to be today.
Sadly, yes, this is true.
Alright, so with that, Frostbite is out of the Tower of Hera. I'm going to go ahead and see what's on Spectacle Rock, just 10 sticks. Now we get to head into we can see what's on the floating island, then we have to head into the Dark World side and see what's in the Hookshot Cave, as well as then we get to start playing the Do We Want to Mess Around in Turtle Rock game.
Yes. Yes, we do.
So we're looking at the potential. So it looks like unless it comes up in here or in like Magic Bat, we're looking for a potential, a kind of oops all dungeons seed.
There's our butter sword.
Piece of heart. And 3 bombs, so no dice here.
Oh, Frostbite is actually gonna say no.
Perhaps they're thinking they're gonna follow that. There is, let's see, that they follow it. With that hammer, they do have access to Magic Bat, and of course, there's this Swamp Palace Crystal Dungeon they have to complete yet.
Yep, they're gonna do crystal dungeons.
I think you do that. You think you do this into. All right, so Frostbite in towards the Swamp Palace, it would appear.
Yeah, King's Tomb has not been checked since we just got our mitts. Nobody's been in that area yet. And we will get to see what was inside a swamp on Frostbite's side. We know it was nothing important, but we'll see anyways.
Alright, so we will see what we did miss in here, though it wasn't any... We know it's nothing of note. Alright, so clearing through some swamp palace here. Meanwhile, Ack is into the Tower of Hera. We'll see what they decide to do after they clear through Tower of Hera.
And from what I can see, let's see, Axe Tracker looks pretty up to date. I think we are just missing... I know he went back in, he completed Thieves Town, and he's got Bow and Flippers. I believe is the only thing we're missing on his side now, other than just Pendant and Crystal Marker.
Alright, so we are going to see here what we've got. Hiding in the back, not what we're looking for.
Yep. Ack gets his Butter Sword.
So with that, I think that means he went to Hookshot Cave already. Or where was the... Or where was the... He picked up a sword somewhere that I missed.
Yeah, it was Hookshot Cave. He got his tempered in Hookshot Cave. Frost got it as the Butter Sword.
Right on. Alright, so now we're going to take care of the Moldorm fight on Axe side. 2 swipes of that Butter Sword, and that's the end of that. And carving through the Swamp Palace, nothing entertaining has come up thus far. And it's not going to be the answer to where, oh where is that Bombos medallion? And at this point, it's kind of looking like it's on the Magic Bat or somewhere in the routing nightmare that is Turtle Rock.
Could also be King's Tomb.
We do have access to that, being that we have the Titan's Mints, and that is the only location that is 100% locked. By those Titan's Mints. So far, a pretty quick and easy fight of Argus now. That gold sword making this pretty trivial. Isn't going for the poke strats, but Ack is now into one of the places we have not checked yet. That's Mimic Cave for just 20 bucks. So a couple shots and a spin with that ice rod, and that's the end of Argus.
Yeah, Hammer Pegs is another location we're gonna see. Looks like Ack is gonna go in Turtle Rock, so this could kind of be the big thing for Ack to kind of catch him up. If he finds Bombos here, you know, it'll probably lead him to Misery Mire.
To pull him away from where he needs to get his book, but it will give him access to that crystal dungeon.
Well, it is an outstanding item that Frostbite hasn't checked then. So then it's probably at that point going to be, well, how long does it take Frostbite to go to Pen Turtle Rock, and how long does it take Ack to go to Pendant Pop?
But if Frostbite routes in somewhere else and Bombos comes up elsewhere, they could potentially have a very fast Turtle Rock. It really just depends on where the big key lies.
Well, yeah, Turtle Rock's not even necessary, so... And once Frostbite finishes this and finishes Ice, he's just looking for that Bombos to go clear out Mire as quickly as possible and then go right to GT. Or in this case, Hyrule Castle.
go visit everybody's favorite chain chomps. See what they've got in their chest, just the map.
Just a lousy old sheet of paper that tells us how to get through this dungeon.
And even in Inverted's case, is it really all that helpful?
No, not really. It does just the same as it would be an open or standard. Hack is not done with Turtle Rock, though.
Nope, still a lot more of this routing mess to be completed. Looks like they're going to opt for potentially the front door if it'll let them in.
Wonder if he remembers you can just jump on a Turtle Rock. That's Bombos, though.
Doesn't matter, we can't go in this door. We need 1 coin and 1 coin only. So that means the green pendant that we both turned in is worth nothing.
In the laser bridge we go.
Alright, here we go. 4 items to be checked here. And it was interesting how long you managed to stay up on that ledge.
I will agree with this.
Alright, there's the small key that'll get us into Trinex. And there's another small key that'll get us elsewhere in the dungeon. There's a piece of heart. And there's the big key, so Ack can kill Trinex now.
And that looks like Ack is going to kill Trinex.
Alright, meanwhile, Frostbite is into the Ice Palace they have not yet completed, so they're going to gun their way through this. Not going to find the Bombos medallion inside. So we will see what Trinex is holding on to now.
It is 5 items in Turtle Rock.
And going for the quick behind the back strats.
And it looks like he got that too.
Oh, there's still nope. Go ahead, and that's the 0 cycle for Ack. Feels good. Execution on Ack's side has definitely not been lacking, as their knowledge of Super Bunny, of how to set up Super Bunny, was pretty clutch in the beginning of this seed.
Yeah. As far as things that haven't been checked, let's see. We've got King's Tomb. I don't believe either runner has checked Spike Cave. We know there's at least 1 more item in Pod. I believe there's a couple more items here in Turtle Rock.
Magic Bat.
Yep, Magic Bat.
I think we've already checked Hammer Pegs.
Yeah, and we didn't see Bollock's side, but I'm pretty sure there's only 1 item. I want to say we saw 4 items in Pod when we were there on Frostbite's side earlier.
We will see. So Frostbite's setting up their bomb jump. There's another small key in the front side here. Now we're gonna head into the torch puzzle room.
Nope, Spike Cave has not been checked yet. Oh, and Thieves Town Big Chest. That's another one.
Oh, of course, the Thieves Town Big Chest, everyone's favorite inverted fetch quest. And it looks like Ack missed a shot there. Alright, we'll see what's in these final 2 checks in here. Small key, 10 sticks. Not a whole lot here to be found on Ack.
No, I know there's still 2 chests. Just don't know if there's anything useful because we still got the big chest and then the crystal roller room.
I sincerely dislike routing Turtle Rock and Inverted. I like the mode, but not Turtle Rock.
No, he did not open up the big chest because we did not have the big key at the time.
We just got the big key now.
He might just be skipping it, because if he's going down Spiral Cave, he'd have to climb all the way back up here to check those.
I think it's a matter of when is it good to check Spiral Cave. This may be, I mean, at some point it's going to be inconvenient. So we have the Riot Shield for Frostbite.
I mean, yeah, it is possible he already got 5 items, so he knows nothing's there as well. I'm not sure on the items. I was not keeping the best track, because Turtle Rock, yeah, it's kind of a mess.
My guess is the items are not. For now, they're done with Turtle Rock. Yes, Pedestal is long dead with 10 sticks.
So the only thing I can think Ack is doing at this point is Spike Cave.
And that is an unchecked location we have not yet seen. And that looks to be the case. Alright, so let's see what this long walk through a spiked cave will give for us today.
Macro Pickle, we are missing a Bombos medallion.
Now, Ack, as far as for Ack, this is, I mean, this is potentially in logic, depending on where. Now he can clear through Pod to get to the Cane of Burna, which puts this in logic, which he has the hint for.
Well, actually, I just thought of this. It was, well, we got another bottle. I just thought of this. If he only found 4 items in Turtle Rock, it's fully cleared out, because the 1 item that is missing is the cape. So we got that hint about the cape in Turtle Rock earlier.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that. And that would have put that play he made into logic. So good thinking on that front. And seeing the hammer in Ack's hands, I think this is the Pod play for Ack.
It sure looks like it.
Alright, so with that, he will be given the Book of Medora, but will he full clear it? And is the Bombos medallion hiding in here?
Yeah, that's the ultimate question now. Where's that Bombos medallion? And how long does it take Frostbite to find it?
Well, the only thing that we know for sure is that it's nowhere in Misery Mire. As far as that, and it's not in Ganon's Tower. Everywhere else, in play.
Yeah, it looks like Frostbite is actually heading back to check Turtle Rock. Maybe he's just doing Spike Cave and he's going to say no after that?
At least he's going to do the Spike Cave check. Because that is in logic. Or?
No, he's got to be going Turtle Rock.
So that really gets... So that this is time given back to Ack. Won't be able to go in the front door. So as of right now, this isn't the Oops All Dungeons that some of us were hoping for, is there's nothing in Turtle Rock to be found.
It was cleared, though. Frostbite is going to start from the back on Laser Bridge.
And would have access to go ahead and kill Trinex, so we'll see if they decide to do so. And what is this? Intended Laser Bridge? The magic mirrors in the Dark Village. Thanks, game. That's the first time we've checked that hint. Because the Bowlock side of Pod was not checked by Frostbite when he came in here via the Kern jump just about an hour ago. So these are our first checks of the Bowlock side. Nice quick dash through the room.
Yeah, Frostbite is actually not checking or going to Trinex right away. He's going to check it like this, maybe thinking he'll check all the chests up to maybe the lava chest, and then mirror and go for Trinex and get the 3 in the front.
Alright, so that's small key and $20 on the Bowlock side. So we did not find all the items on Frostbite's side. Unknown if one of those happens to be on the Helmasaur King.
So Considering Frostbite did not find the cape in the crystal roller room, I believe that means cape is in big chest.
Alright, so we know the magic cape is in here via the hint system, but we do not need it as we already have the Cane of Burna, and the bumper ledge is just big 20.
There's the book on Axe side.
Alright, so with that, Acktheboker does have access to Desert Palace, and is now in the same conundrum that Frostbite is. Where's that Bombos medallion?
It's possible as well that Ack does decide to clear out Pod even if he finds all the items, maybe because he does not have knowledge of pedestal yet.
I think
And
at
he's
this point, after the dive, I think you pretty much commit to it. Just clear out this dungeon and make sure you've got everything cleared out, because we're one item from go mode, and I'd imagine if you're in Axe side, maybe you feel behind. I imagine perhaps both runners may feel okay or behind. It really just depends on how things fill out.
I think depending on what, but I think as soon as Ack found the book, that might be where he feels like he was behind. Nope, he is not, so.
Alright, so here we are. We're looking for the Bombos medallion, and what locations have left unchecked? We have the Thieves' Town Big Chest, we have the Magic Bat, King's Tomb.
I think that's. I want to say that's it.
Because Frostbite is going to finish out these last few checks here in Turtle Rock. And we know Pet is long dead. That's 10 sticks.
Ack is going to go to Desert first, though.
Both tablets have been checked. Though Ack's just about to check one of those tablets now. And the Pyramid Fairy is long dead, also from the hint system. Swamp Palace has been cleared out.
No, we saw the item on Bollock's side of the RC. Helmet only has a pendant.
Alright, so according to our tracker, thank you Dimensive, by the way, shoutouts to you, that all items have been found in Pod. So Helmosaur King is dead. Well, at least for having an item. He's still very much alive. Catfish has been checked. Right now we're left with King's Tomb, Thieves' Town Big Chest, and the Magic Bat. And Frostbite will make their way over there momentarily, as all they have left to do here is kill Trinax. Not quite getting the zero cycle on Frostbite's side, but pretty close, considering they weren't in front, they didn't come from the back. But execution on both runners' sides has been pretty top-notch the entire way through this race.
Yep, they're fighting for that bye week to where they don't have to race this week.
Alright, there's the 10 sticks from Trinax, and with that, there's a red pendant for Frostbite. He'll take the refill, and then he's done. Now we just see which of those three roll-over-roll checks is, or which one of those three not fun locations is holding on to the item we're searching for. But first, Frostbite will have to do, I think they have to do Spiral Cave as well as the Spike Cave.
Yep. And I don't know if they checked Mimic Cave no, they did not. They didn't check Mimic Cave as well their first time up, so kind of three locations that are messy to get to.
Well, the Spike Cave won't be too bad, because he can just save and quit to the other side of the mountain.
Still gotta climb, though, sadly.
No matter what you do, it's not as fun as you would hope it to be. Welcome to Death Mountain and Inverted. It sucks. Meanwhile, Acktheboker is making their way back to the Landmolus, and nothing here but the crystal. So we will see if
I actually just noticed that as well. Chat just bringing this up is the timers are not synced right now.
Acktheboker stream seems to be a little bit behind on us.
No, technically, well, yeah. Because we did have to kind of restart everything for on speed gaming side for Ack because we had the restart. So there's looks like 50 seconds difference between them right.
As far as our visual, they did start the race at the same time, and there is a 10-minute delay for this restream.
All right, Frostbite. Looks like we're heading over to King's Tomb first. Bombs. It's missing some letters. Still got Magic Bat.
All right, so we'll see with that hammerhead. Looks like that's what Magic Bat is. Frostbite's next play. I do believe we got a checkerboard check by Ack a long time ago.
Both of them did, yes. Frostbite checked it after finishing Desert.
All right, and we're down into the cave. You've woken me up now. Is first place what you're hoping to see? Well, today we'll see what that which I will curse thee. That's just $20.
So,
Keep
yeah,
looking.
I think it's Thieves Town.
Who wants to go to the Thieves Town Big Chest?
Yes, K45 was also checked. That was where our fire rod was this game.
Which we super bunnied for.
Hammer pegs? I don't know. Frostbite has not checked it. I don't know. I don't think Ack checked this.
I think this is our first check of that little bit of Zelda ASMR. But it looks like this is the point that we are going to catch up the sync on these streams.
Yep, I was gonna say probably syncing. So nothing's wrong with Frostbite. We're just gonna get the timers and everything.
It just so happens that Ack also happens to be at Magic Bat at the time.
Which, if you think about it, he's probably about to check hammer pegs himself.
So we'll
They
see.
are very close to each other right now.
All right, so the real question is, who will get this done faster? The restream sync or Acktheboker?
I want to say because that mirror bonk, it's going to be the restream sync.
And here we are. As unfortunately, Frostbite runs into his mirror portal.
And I don't see a Bombos in that inventory.
He's not done with hammer pegs. He accidentally ran into his mirror portal.
Oh, whoops. But that was a heart container on Axe side. So it looks like TT it is. Back to Thieves Town.
Yep, you left here half an hour ago, but too bad, so sad. But Ack is thinking, but it looks like Ack's going for a pedestal check. Before.
I guess this is kind of surprising considering you were in pod.
I think at this point, this is his only chance to see if he just ended his own race by not clearing pod. I mean, even if he had gone into gone in, picked up the Bombos medallion from the big chest, he would still be a full. Actually, he's right on there, right, just about neck and neck now.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time between the two of them. 'Cause this is just going to be run to the basement, and that should be Bombos. I don't believe it can be anything other than Bombos.
Oh, Axe still has these two bomb locked locations in Kakariko,
Yep, plus he's got King's Tomb as well.
which that could still be our key, because I don't think Frostbite's been there yet. All right, with this, what has been hiding out in this Thief Town Big Chest for so long? And there it is at 1 hour, 39 minutes, 48 seconds. That's a Bombos Medallion and Frostbite. You're going go mode. What a long time to find our way back to the Thief's Town Big Chest. So now, Frostbite, all you have to do is make your way to Misery Mire. And then hoping for your sake for a God Mire, just to gun through. So how do you think Frostbite feels right now? As someone who's done more racing than I have.
I don't think he actually feels very behind right now, considering you think about it, Thieves Town is one of those places he knows, based on where he's found items, that Ack did not get it on his first trip through. But then also that he last location, but typically it's usually what a normal runner is going to do is you're going to last location, the Thieves Town Big Chest. So it's really kind of execution. Might feel maybe being a little bit ahead because of that Kieran bomb jump and having the book. But also, with that, if you are ahead, it's probably not by much, and you basically just need to go full tilt. You can't make, many mistakes, if any, right now, especially against racing somebody like Ack.
Good. Shoutouts to Chad SCGTT. It's kind of an interesting kind of a feeling of kind of a Schrodinger's ahead or behind, because you're like, did my opponent do the same thing? It's kind of a tough little bit of just where are you right now. As far as the only thing 100% for sure is you just need to kill Vitreous, and then you can go to Ganon's Tower.
Yep, you're just hoping to find a very early big key right now. Ack also now in go mode has his bombos, so maybe following in Frostbite's steps.
All right, we'll see what is on the first chest. Small key. We're continuing on through Misery Mire. At this point now, it's execution and Ganon's Power big key routing that will decide whether the Phendrana Drifters or Team K, 4K Fourth and Forehead will have that first round bye going into the Link to Past Randomizer League playoffs.
It is not a God Mire.
So we have to dive deeper. Alright, take a look. We're not going to Desert Palace right now. We've got to clear out Misery Mire on Axe side. I'd imagine, though, the routing is going to be fairly similar between these two runners.
Will it... Oh, go ahead.
Alright, for those asking in chat, yes, 3 teams move into the playoffs. At this point, those 3 teams are locked in. On the Lake Hylia division side, it is going to be 4K Fourth and Forehead, Phendrana Drifters, and the Titans Mitts. We are today playing a tiebreaker match to decide which of these 2 teams on your screens will have that first round bye in these playoffs. Alright, so we will see. Did Frostbite miss the key while I was reading the standings?
No, he's doing a little bit of a regular routing, maybe, to see if he can find an early big key. Hopefully it's not on the left side, but that's where it's looking like he's going to get half magic for his trouble.
I mean, not the worst find, and that will make the Ganon fight even easier. All right, and Frostbite making their way down to the cutscene chest. All right, so going to go ahead and with that, that's the big key, and it's unfortunately vanilla location. Frostbite's heading back to a date with Vitreous.
Benak pulling on that chest. He was hoping for a big key. He's checking other places first.
Unfortunately, well, that was a chance for Act 2 gain time back, but it will not be the case. So here we are, despite the fact that Acktheboker had orphaned the book for so long. It took Frostbite just as long to find the Bombos medallion, so with that, we're just a little bit between these two runners. And with
There's
this,
not a lot of time between these two right now.
it's just that, just to show you the nature of Randomizer, where you guys can be so far behind, but then just one item eludes both of you, and now we're rooms between each other now. Yeah, making use of that magic powder to get the health refill. It's execution and Ganon's Tower big key routing that really ends up, which may end up sealing it. And it looks like Frostbite's going for Cane of Burnus strats. Get that half magic. And since we're not gonna have a lot of time for this, get your guesses in chat now, folks. Between 1 and 22 locations is where that big key could be located in Ganon's Tower. Since all we have to do is mirror and save and quit after this, that it's not gonna take us long to get into GT. What you got, Sir Link?
I'm going to go with number 13.
I will stick to my usual 17, and that's the end of Vitreous. Frostbite's got their health refill. And they're going to lose it when they save and quit, but they're just in just a moment. They're going to be in GT. Meanwhile, Act just the back of Misery Mire behind.
Frostbite does save and quit first, though.
He needed to mirror first. I think he just realized it. But now at this point, he can run up if he wanted to. And he's going to take this portal instead. Perhaps not being familiar with the mechanic where if you have the mirror and you've completed Aghanim, all you have to do is save and quit while in the light world to be placed right in front of the entrance to GT. Alright, so with this, location number 1, 10 arrows. Location number 2, piece of heart. We've got to go left.
And what's on the torch?
I immediately debated myself there. So that's number 3. Small key for Frostbite. And with that, Acktheboker is done with Vitreous. So they're heading again to Tower, and it looks like the chance for divergence isn't much unless Frostbite goes for, or someone goes for a Dark Magician strat, because we were forced to the left. 4 and 5 were hearts. Number 6, 20 bucks. Number 7, piece of heart. And Ack also uses the bong to skip that cutscene, as number 8 turns out to be a small key.
And we continue going left side.
But will Ack make the same play? That is the question. Ack has been forced left. That bonk skipped outside of GT skips the crystal spinning cutscene. Number 9, small key. Now we're heading over to the randomizer room. Number 10, piece of heart. Number 11, 20 rupees. Number 12, 3 bombs. Number 13, 3 bombs. Alright, so we're heading down. It looks like Acktheboker did decide to go through the same path as well, so at this point it's gonna take some glitches in execution to give Acktheboker a chance back into the seed.
Well, there is one possibility that'll save him a little bit of time. We've seen Ack hover once already. Will he risk the hover on Troll Dorm 2 to gain some time?
And here we have it, folks. Armos on ice! Alright, and down goes the Armos Knights. 14, 15, 16. It's on the right side.
Oh, Ack didn't go full left.
Did Ack just save some time?
Unless it's on tile room, he probably did. He went to Randa room and then mirrored.
Now we're neck and neck here. Down the stretch, what in that? I don't know what caused him to Galaxy Brain the not Randa room to skip the Armos on ice. This is such an interesting strategy. Now we're in the same room. My God.
The sync is real.
Now the question is, now we're truly down to execution, as we've got 17 bottle of blue potion, 18 20 rupees, 19 that one, and number 20. That's our big key.
This is so close right now, going up GT.
And there we are. Congratulations, GFE 12 with the win. Now, I've got to focus more on this race, because here we are going up we're now neck and neck up the tower climb.
Oh. Axe saved a little bit of time in that room. Now he's ahead.
All right, so now we're down to execution. Acktheboker pulls ahead with a little bit better of execution on the mimics. 2 mimics down in this room. Similar execution through. Now Acktheboker is now dashing through the door. Does not bonk. Continues on. Frostbite also not bonking. Going for different strategies through this spike room. Ack pushes the button first, and they're gunning it down. Frostbite getting bullied by those Igors. Acktheboker is into Ganonball GT and takes a fall off the side. Frostbite takes it slow. Actually, the fall allowed them to dash right through, and they're ahead. Acktheboker being a sniper with those silver arrows. Meanwhile, Frostbite opting for the fire rod strats. We'll have to wait for those enemies to burn down. Acktheboker's into the room ahead and already cleared it. They're now almost a full room ahead. Alright, Zayzacs are dead via the silver arrows. Frostbite is still sticking with that fire rod, dashing through, killing the Zayzacs. Acktheboker now pulling a full room ahead. We've got a lot of the tension is up on this race. I can't even handle myself. Frostbite into the room ahead. Acktheboker now into land mode 2. Fire Rod's still working out for Frostbite as they're going to go ahead and dash into land mode 2 themselves. 1, 2, 3 silver arrows. Land Mollis 2 is down and destroyed. Frostbite now dropping in there. Cutscene cutting across. Acktheboker now into the small refill room and heading up to take care of the Wizrobe rooms with his Cane of Samaria. A little bit of flash and burn.
1, 2, 3 for Frostbite as well.
Nice, just tight. Absolutely incredible shots. Acktheboker now heading into the second of the Wizrobe rooms, and they're down. Frostbite just about a room behind here. Acktheboker able to dash straight through those fort guards. No troubles to be had. Pulling out the lamp for the first of the torch puzzles. Is going for a slightly smaller level, but is trying to preserve some of their magic, despite the fact they are on half magic, and there is a full refill in the next room. But trying to clutch at every little bit. I think both these runners realize just how close this race probably is at this point. At Frostbite also going for the torch strats, despite considering they are on a little bit lower magic than their competitor. Acktheboker is done with the second of the torch puzzles, and now going to go ahead and take care. It has to kill this. It is killing the Helmosaur for the key, and making their way into the next room, taking a couple of hits from the Hydra statues. Frostbite now taking care of their second torch puzzle. Meanwhile, Acktheboker on their conveyor belt and bomb puzzle. What a crazy race we have here for us today. Acktheboker going to go ahead and take the refill from the couple fairies as well as the full magic decanter. Acktheboker is now down to land Molus 2. Does not look to be opting in for the hover that they did earlier in this race. So now we are, with that, Moldorm 2 is down. We're into Moldorm's last possessions. The hookshot across is going to head and leave those behind. Hookshot clip coming. Nope, does not quite get it there. In the meantime, Moldorm 2 is just about down for Frostbite. He's also going to wait for that hookshot. Meanwhile, Acktheboker is up to our second required geometry test. I am losing my mind here. And with that, it's now time for our second required geometry test of this race. Acktheboker heading in now. How well will this the setup so far? That's a really nice pattern for the start, and that looks to be a triple. Setting up, and that's another. I believe that was another double he just picked up there, despite the blue ball. So one more hit, and this fight is over. And with that, the King of All Bacon is on the loose. Frostbite also gets the triple setup. Well done on their part. Can they? Will they? They will get a double here, as we know it's a blue ball coming next. Acktheboker is just summoning their swag duck, and here we go. It's a Ganon fight for Acktheboker. Just crashed through. That's 3, 2, 1 for both of our runners right now. We're just 10 seconds between us as we're just about to head down into this Ganon fight. And we've dropped in. The King of All Bacon is before us. We've had everything we need as we get a little bit of an existential wandering from Ganon. Here we go. All right, a really nice setup for this second phase as he put himself into a place where we can just kind of dash at his face. So this second phase is going to be nothing trivial. Hopefully Frostbite's execution will hold up just as much as Acktheboker's. We're looking at a 16-second gap here. I mean, it would take some glitch in execution to really give this Frostbite. And as Acktheboker takes the hit from the fire bat, now Ganon just has to hold still for Ack. That's strike number 1, pulling out their silver arrows. Now we're just going to see the teleports continue. Just Ganon holds still for Ack. That's number 2. Frostbite on the left side of your screens. Just now into phase 3, hoping that this will that Ganon will hold still. Note that the RNG seed for these teleports is locked between these two runners, so this is good. So whatever Ack faces, Frostbite will also face. Ack is now into phase 4. Did we find the silver arrows in Skullwoods? You bet, Ganon. You're not going to get one now, so Frostbite just got a little bit of time back from Ack. Ack lands the torch glitch, now setting it up. Single arrow shot there on Ack's side. Moving up to the next side, that'll be another single. No setup for the double here. Gets the torch, and with that swing, I believe that's the double, and that's the final skewer into Ganon. Just a 1x3 bridge is all that separates Acktheboker between second and first place for Team 4K, fourth and forehead. Frostbite is up on the Ganon fight as well. That's blowing up on the left side for Frostbite. Acktheboker, all he has to do is not fall, and with that, Acktheboker has finished in first place with an SRL time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 48 seconds. Holy crap, what a race!
Everybody get your GGs in chat for both Frostbite and Acktheboker. Frostbite does finish with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 59 seconds.
GG Frostbite.
GG Axe. Seems like it was an awesome race.
All right, so we don't have a lot of time because we have we have Super Metroid starting in a couple minutes. But GG's, guys! Holy crap!
Well, like Ack said in that chat, that's what Thieves Town Big Chest Go mode will do for you, right? So.
It's a pretty strong bottleneck. I don't like those anymore. I've had enough.
So
no more inverted ever.
The question that's been burning my mind is, Ack, what possessed you to mirror out after the going to Rando Room?
I would rather find the big key last in Tile Room and Ice Armos, opposed to finding it last in, I guess, the Compass Room.
Yeah, I actually thought about mirroring out after the Stalfos room, because those first two things on the right, and I knew Ack hadn't finished yet, so I was looking to make a gamble, and when I went right and saw that there wasn't a key there, I really thought about it, but I don't think it's mathematically the better play. The play Ack ended up making, it seems, was a reasonable mathematic play, though, so yeah, it was a mess of a seed, like we said in the chat. I thought about going up to Aga before going into the back of Thieves Town. I think if you watch it back, I think I sat there looking at my screen for about 10 seconds before I actually chose where I wanted to respawn. And, that's what can you do? That choice costs you 40 minutes in the end. So, because I think I don't know about you. I got the book through the Kern jump really early. I was bombos from Go mode at like 1 hour, and it took me until 50 minutes later to find it.
Dude, I would have gladly forfeit at the 120 mark if you would have finished, and I would not have felt bad at all.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was awesome. GG again. That was a super fun race, and the only downside is we couldn't just blow up Fear Agent's brain by tying in the tiebreaker.
Oh no, I did. That would have been sick.
We did come close to that. I was just like, as I'm there, since just actually meltdown commentating in the heart of my brain is, what happens if this ties?
I was actually going to ask him when it was getting that close. Well, Bungie was doing the commentary, and I was like, oh, so what happens if they tie the tiebreaker?
Dude, Frost, if I would have thought about it, I would have waited a little bit. I would have asked you in IRC. You almost done? I'll wait.
Yeah, exactly. It's all. I laughed. I saw the cutscene snipe, and obviously, I know Ack's a really good runner. I would consider him better than me, better executor. And when I hadn't been finished and I'd killed Ganon, it wasn't that surprising just to see that, like the legit cutscene snipe. But no, that was an awesome race. GG again. Thanks for restreaming it, and yeah, it looks like you guys got to move on. So thanks again.
Yeah, GG guys. Thank you.
Well, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us, Sterling Clot. Any last comment before I send us off?
No, that was a great way, I believe, for us to end the regular season of the first ever Link to the Past Randomizer League with this tiebreaker being the way it was. I don't think we could ask for a better race than what we just experienced.
Absolutely, I don't think that's something that the rest of this league is going to have a long time to. But keep it locked in. The first playoff match has been scheduled for 10 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday, April the 30th, between the Last Locationers and Team Awesome. That's Goomba versus the Lane. That should be a lot of fun. And keep an eye out on speedgaming.org/schedule. Give the Speed Gaming network of channels a follow. Keep a link. Go ahead and give these runners a follow. My brain is melted. My mouth can't do a whole lot else. Keep a look at the league itself. All the Speed Gaming network channels. All the foreign languages. There's lots of fun stuff coming up on the Speed Gaming network channels, including a Super Metroid Prodigy tournament, which is going to take over me for right now. And for all I've got to say is good night and good rando, folks.
Yep, good night. Hope everybody enjoyed the race, and you are going to be joined for the Super Metroid Prodigy tournament when they're ready to go by Oshino and the Hockey Towner. They'll be doing commentary and doing the call. Good night, everybody.